In this video, I'll show you the 3 simple steps I use to keep my colours consistent. Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching Adorama TV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that's got everything for us photographers. And in this video, I'm going to share my 3 quick steps for getting colour consistency in your photography workflow. Now you might think that means we're going to go and take pictures and talk about cameras. We'll get to that in a little bit, but in fact, step 1 of good colour management starts right here inside of my small home office. And it begins with a great monitor, because if you've got a bad monitor, you'll get no consistency, it makes it really hard, and a good monitor makes life a lot easier. Now you want a monitor that will show you at least 100% of the sRGB colour space. That's the smallest one photographers tend to use, and is usually absolutely fine. But if you're a serious photographer, get something like this BenQ SW2700. That shows me 99% of the Adobe RGB colour space, which is much bigger. Now, if you want to find out more about colour space, check out the Adorama Learning Centre. But whatever monitor you get, you're not done there. You need to calibrate it. That means you get the very best out of the monitor. Now, every month or thereabouts, I'll get myself this. This is little XRite i1 colorimeter, and I'll pop it on the screen, and it will go through a series of colour management steps to refine the colour and get the very best out of this monitor. It does take a few minutes to go through, so the best thing to do is to let the monitor warm up, start this running, and then you can go off and take some photos, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. Step 2 of my colour process is getting the colours right in camera. Now, for this to work, I need to take some pictures, and to help me out with that, I've got the amazing Beth. Beth's going to be the model, and as you can see, she's wearing something bright blue, and the background, we're going to put some colour on there as well, because I have a light behind Beth with a gel in it. Getting my colours right in camera means I'm going to set a custom white balance, and to do that, I need my Colorchecker passport. So let's grab that, and I'll open it up onto the grey side. So this is the side I'm going to use, and I need to put this in the same light that's lighting my model. So Beth, can you hold that for me? Thank you very much. Making sure that Beth doesn't put her fingers across the grey area. All I need to do is take a photograph of that. Now the process varies from camera to camera. For my Olympus camera, it's really simple. I simply press and hold the one-touch white balance button, fill the frame with the grey card, and take a shot. I'm then asked to set a custom white balance. I'll choose the default setting, and that's it. I've now set a custom white balance in camera. Now I am shooting in RAW, so in theory I could do this later on, but setting it in camera means that I can actually show my subject a picture that looks the right colour. Because if you don't do that, here Beth, what do you reckon to that? That's what happens if you show them the wrong coloured picture. Show them the right colour picture and you're on a good start to getting a good shot from your model. Also, it saves you a ton of time in post-processing if you've got your colours roughly right at this stage. And anything that saves time is a good idea. Now it's worth noting, if you shoot with mirrorless cameras like my Olympus, then the electronic viewfinder will probably show you the white balance you've just set, which is almost certainly the wrong colour for the ambient light in the room. For example, my video lights are a slightly different colour to my flash. So when you're looking through the viewfinder, don't panic if the colours look a bit wrong, just make sure they look good when you take the shots. The third step of the process is all about image processing, but before I get onto my computer, we need to take a picture of this. So this is the Colorchecker passport fully opened up so I can see the individual colour swatches. And the way this works is just like the grey card. I give this to Beth, making sure she doesn't put her fingers across the front. There we go. And I take a photograph of the chart in the same light that's on the model. So this time Beth's going to hold that right up against her face. That's lovely. And let's take a shot of that. Here we go. And that's all I need. Once that's done, I just load that into the computer and make a profile. We'll get to that in a little bit. And it won't matter even if I change the colour of the background light, because once I've got this chart, I've got a complete colour reference for the main light that's lighting Beth, and that colour isn't going to change throughout this shoot. So with the shoot done, it's time to create a custom profile that matched the lighting, the camera and the lens that I was using in the shoot. Now from here on, there's lots of ways of going about this, and it will depend on which system you use. There are plenty of profiling options around. I'm using the XRite Color Passport system, so I'll use the Colorchecker Passport, and the first thing I need to do is actually go and get one of my raw files and bring it into Photoshop, because that's the software I want to use to make my profile and do my edits. So this is the raw file that I have with the picture of the Colorchecker Passport, and in fact what I need is this image saved as a DNG file. And I'll find that if I just go down to the Save button at the bottom of the screen and choose the name as a file extension DNG. I'll save it in the same location, or at least in the desktop, so I can find it really easily. And that's it, I'm done. So now if I jump back to my desktop, I'll find that there is a DNG file. There it is. All I need to do to make my color profile is launch the Colorchecker Passport software, and as it says, drag and drop a DNG file there. So I'll drag and drop a DNG file and just wait for a few seconds. And it's done. It's all automated. It crops it, it finds the squares, it does absolutely everything. I just click on Create Profile, give it a unique name, for example, Adorama Test, click Save, and that's it. It saves as a color profile. Right, we can close all that down now, go find the original RAW file and see how that affected the pictures. Now, I'm using Adobe Camera Raw, and by default, I'm going to get the Adobe Color Profile. So if I drop that down and choose Browse, I can come down to the Profile button here, and there it is, Adorama Test. And if I go across between the Adobe version and my own created version, you can see how much more red those reds are. Have a look at Beth's shirt as well. Her blouse there is definitely more blue, and you'll see the individual color swatches have all changed as well. So I'll click on that to make that active, close it down, and then that's it. I don't have to do anything else other than the usual editing of my pictures. Now, how do I do this for all of my images? Because I took a lot of images during that shoot. Well, we could batch edit everything, bring them all through in one go, but because I'm using the same lights in the same room with the same camera and the same lens, that profile is going to get used over and over again. This isn't something you have to do on every single shoot, it's just when things change. So for me, I'm going to come back to Camera Raw and choose this little icon in the top corner and set this as a new Camera Raw default. So every image I open up from now on will have this color profile. And that's it, I'm done. I can make a few other changes, but really all of my images now are going to get exactly the same edit, and straight out of camera, they immediately look better. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a comment below, and if you want to see more videos from myself and the other amazing presenters right here on Adorama TV, you know what you got to do, you got to click on that subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications about the videos, click on the bell icon too. I'm Gavin Hoey, thanks for watching.